Hello, welcome to Hamline, or rather Hamline at Home. We're making this in April 2020. So unfortunately, we're not able to meet you face to face, but we hope we're able to introduce Hamline to you, the English department. And again, hopefully we'll meet face to face soon. I'm Chris Steffenbacher. I'm a professor in the English department. I teach British and Irish literature, writing courses, and been at Hamline 22 years, lived just a few blocks away and love the community.
Hi, I'm Rachel Toughlin-Trampy, and I'm also an English professor. I teach classes in professional writing and rhetoric in the department, as well as first-year writing. And this is my fourth year at Hamline.
So usually when we do these presentations, we start with what you're interested in, with your questions, and tailor the presentation accordingly. Since we're unfortunately not able to do that, we've structured our presentation around the questions that people usually bring to these sessions, and we'll try to answer those for you. So you have here a welcome to the entire English department. The core faculty are at the top. At the bottom, you see the Giddens Learning Center, where most of our offices and classrooms are. We're going to walk you through three things that are really unique about Hamline's English major. The fact that you can work across all of the English disciplines and still specialize in one. The fact that you're getting the best of liberal arts education and pre-professional training together all the way through the major. And that you also connect theory to practice from the start of the major and across the program, which opens a lot of opportunities to you that we'll talk about. So that first thing that makes Hamline unique, the fact that you're able to take courses across English disciplines is important because all of these disciplines are important to the work that you're able to do at and beyond Hamline. So you can take courses in literary and cultural studies, in professional writing and rhetoric, and in creative writing. Those disciplines are integrated at the beginning and at the end of the major, and in between, you get to choose your path. You get to choose electives in literary and cultural studies and in professional and creative writing. And additionally, you can choose to concentrate in one of those disciplines. So you can take an additional 2 courses beyond the 10-course standard English major and have an English major with a concentration in professional writing and rhetoric, or a concentration in creative writing. So we'll walk through each of these disciplines and talk about what's unique about each at Hamline. The first, literary and cultural studies, is unique for its courses and for the way that those courses are staged across the major. So you start with thematically focused survey courses that ground you in complex textual traditions and cultural contexts for them, but also allows you to focus on particular themes that you're interested in within those traditions. We require a gateway course in literary and cultural theory from the beginning of the major, which is again unique. Many schools only offer this as kind of a senior level elective. All of our students are doing this theory course at the beginning of the major so that they can be active interpreters of text and producers of knowledge from the start. And then when you get to those upper level electives in literary and cultural studies, you get to choose from a wide range of offerings, like a course on Stephen King's work, or Wandering Women in Fiction and Film, or Speculative Fiction and Now. Creative writing at Hamline offers you actually 2 unique paths. So if you're interested in creative writing, when you get to Hamline, you take foundational courses in English and foundational courses in creative writing. And then after those foundations, you choose one of 2 paths. The first is an English major with a concentration in creative writing, which moves you toward a Bachelor of Arts, a standard Bachelor of Arts liberal arts degree. Or you take a creative writing major, which helps you to work toward a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. So it's really where you want the emphasis to fall, kind of a broad liberal arts training in English with a concentration, a specialization in the field, or a real specialized major in the field that works you towards a degree in fine arts. All creative writing courses are taught by the same faculty in the creative writing programs, and all students who are interested in creative writing have a lot of opportunities open to them at Hamline and in the Twin Cities generally. I'll turn things over to my colleague now, to Rachel, to talk about professional writing at Hamline.
Yeah, so for professional writing and rhetoric, we have introductory survey courses that highlight a range of professional texts and fields so that students can understand what influenced their development and impact. We have mid to upper level courses that focus on rhetorical strategies and the tools we use to write persuasively in print and in digital contexts and for varied purposes. So we're looking at messages for organizations, video games, reports, social media, data visualizations, and instructional materials, and more. And our courses at all levels focus on writing for social change and provide opportunities for community-engaged writing experiences applicable across disciplines, from business and digital media arts to social justice and more. And going back to that second bullet point that Chris mentioned before about what makes our English major unique, we offer the best of liberal arts education and pre-professional training by integrating student experiences in analyzing complex texts and issues, solving problems collaboratively and creatively, communicating effectively in diverse contexts, working across cultural differences, and partnering with community organizations and businesses. And to give you one example of this type of integrative experience, I'll tell you a little bit about a course I taught last fall. So this course was an interdisciplinary and community-engaged professional writing course. It was a collaborative effort between 4 different classes and the faculty and students affiliated with those classes. So my class was an upper-level professional writing and rhetoric course in usability and user advocacy, and we partnered together with a class in digital media arts, environmental studies, and public health. And so we all met once a week for a shared class time to address and collaborate on 3 major needs of 3 local organizations. So we called our collective CoLab, and students brought in the knowledge that they were learning from their own individual classes, but then they also learned from their interdisciplinary peers and faculty members as we engaged in this collaborative and creative problem solving. So on this slide, what you are looking at are 3 different deliverables that came out of this class. So all of the students in the class were collaborating throughout the semester. And so these deliverables here were a result of our research findings. And we collaborated with community partners to create these, revise them, and then students also gave presentations on their efforts at the end of the semester to those organizations. So the image on the left is for Hamline Elementary. This is a magnet to advertise Hamline Elementary's Family Resource Room. The image in the middle is a snapshot of a larger brochure that GrowRx would distribute to their constituents to help them out with different gardening strategies for different seasons of the year. And then the third image on the right is a flyer for cars to be distributed to Hamline students on their cars across campus to notify them about the Food Resource Center that's on campus. So this class, this interdisciplinary, collaborative, and community-engaged professional writing class gave students a good opportunity to blend their liberal arts education with that pre-professional training.
That's really also a fantastic example of connecting theory to practice from the start of the program. And that continual linking of theory to practice is what prepares Hamline students from the start of their experience at Hamline for really competitive, intensive experiences, like research experiences, through independent studies with professors, through summer collaborative research. We often have 2 to 4 students who get summer collaborative research grants and get paid to stay on campus and work with faculty and fellow student researchers on projects. The ACTC English Majors Conference, we belong to a consortium and our students present at this professional conference every year. And finally, the National Conference on Undergraduate Research. We send as many students to this conference as does the University of Minnesota, which has many times the number of students Hamline does. So Hamline's really competitive in these research arenas generally, and English is always very well represented. So we send a lot of students to these conferences every year. We also prepare students for off-campus study experiences like the semester abroad program Hamline has at the University of York in England. We do a range of short-term abroad programs like the one that I lead in Ireland. And finally, we belong to a consortium that does great programs both abroad and in the Twin Cities, like Making Media and Making Change. Just to give an example of an intensive research experience, you see on the left here, Michaela Zagoria Moffat, who came to me and said, I'm really interested in YA fiction, particularly paranormal YA fiction, and I'm interested in the way that girls are represented in these texts. So she proposed a study. I knew nothing about YA fiction, and I had the context that she was looking for, gender theory. And together we dove into this study. She taught me about YA fiction, I taught her about the gender theory, and we worked together to the point that by the time her summer collaborative research project was over, not only did she present at the National Conference on Undergraduate Research, but we were also able to collaborate and write an article that was published in an academic collection. So Michaela graduated from Hamline with a publication before she even went on to her graduate career. And then an example of the kind of study abroad experiences we offer. This is a picture from my Reading and Writing Ireland course in May term 2016. We were supposed to go abroad for 10 days this spring break to the same location in Ireland. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we weren't able to do so, but this is a program that will definitely be offered again. The publishing opportunities I talked about, Hamline has a range of fantastic student-run publications that are small and mighty. So the Oracle, our newspaper, our student-run newspaper, regularly wins national awards up against newspapers from big state schools with many times the number of students. It is a really strong publication. The Fulcrum, our literary and visual arts journal, and Untold, our student-run magazine on topics around our campus. All three of these are fantastic to publish in and to work for. So where will a Hamline English major take you? These are the range of fields that students have recently had internships in, and that these are fields in which our graduates have recently pursued careers. So you have a wide range here, from the expected kind of teaching to things that you might not have expected, like video game design, and that's a relatively recent one. So hopefully seeing this range of fields that the major prepares you for gives you a sense that there's not just one path through the major. We offer you a range of paths through the major, and there's not just one goal at the other end. You really get to define your path, and it prepares you for a really wide range of professional opportunities. I hope that we've answered most of your questions. If we haven't, please do not hesitate to contact us. You have our email addresses here. They are also on our website. Both Rachel and myself would be glad to talk to you and to let you know answers to any questions that you might have.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.